Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the RPG podcast. This should be our 1 month episode. This is going to be me and Ultima's Final Fantasy episode because we didn't expect Val to be here, and I had it planned on Shui being here, but we decided to bring Shui anyways because we didn't think Val was going to be here, but then Val said he could make it anyways.
Just a big kind of clusterfuck, really.
Yes. Now, you guys can't see this now, but you're going to see when the video goes up. I didn't have time to make a character sheet for Shui like all the rest of us, so this will do. You'll see it when it goes live. Shui, I pulled this off your Facebook, so you probably know what it is.
Baron von Schuh.
Bingo!
Nice.
Alright, so, since we were talking about it just before the show start, we might as well jump into it. Hearthstone Heroes is in closed beta. I got to see some stuff from TB and Rockwinder, and it looks fun. I look forward to it. What do you guys think?
Wait, what game? Hearthstone?
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone Heroes.
I thought you said.
That's fun.
And it looks pretty good. I mean, I haven't played well, I've played card games. I used to play Magic the Gathering when I was in school. And I used to play the Pokemon trading card game too. And I used to play the hell out of the fucking GameCube, or not GameCube, Game Boy Color version of Pokemon the card game. And I haven't played anything since then. And it's looking pretty good. You know?
Am I the only one?
I believe in the heart of the cards. It's gonna be awesome.
Am I wrong in thinking that Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color is the best trading card game ever made for a console or computer or anything?
No. It definitely is. You are not wrong there.
Like, the Magic games are pretty good. My other thing I hate is that they kind of eliminate deck building, and that's my favorite part is deck building. I mean, I could play a fucking trading card game and actually never play the game and just sit there and come up with cool decks.
I never really enjoyed deck building because, I mean, it was like, okay, I've got like 30,000 cards. Here's all my fires. Here's all my shadows. I'm going to make a fire shadow deck. And it's like, okay, what do I put into it without making my deck like 9,000 cards?
See, for me, that's the fun part, because I actually
right?
like analyzing abilities and coming up with really cool tactics. Like, Val, when we were playing Magic on Octagon, and you found that infinite mana combo, and I was just thinking of fucking ways of using that combo.
Wait, which one?
The infinite mana combo from Magic the Gathering when we were playing on Octagon.
Oh, there's tons of those now.
Right, and I was just thinking of cool ways of utilizing that particular combo, and since that combo worked off of an artifact, I created the Stuffy Doll combo, which allowed me to infinite Stuffy Doll deck, Stuffy Doll tap, in one turn, and I could instantly kill any player in one turn as soon as I had Stuffy Doll on the field.
I had this old artifact that was called Karavek's Torch. This was back like when I used to play. And it had an ability that it would do damage based on how many fire elements or fire mana or whatever you have out on the board or under it or whatever. So I'd just like throw fucking 20 fire under it and just nuke someone. I don't know if I was playing the game right, you know, but that's what I did. Oh, like, oh, hey, Karavek's Torch.
Yeah, you were probably playing wrong. The Stuffy Dog combo was cool
Probably.
because the infinite mana combo basically lets you get 2 mana and then untap an artifact for 1 mana. So you were slowly building up 1 mana of any color. And then Stuffy Doll was also an artifact, so I could tap Stuffy Doll and then untap it the same turn. And Stuffy Doll makes it so that when you put it on the field, you put an indestructible token on it so it never dies. And then every time it takes damage, it deals damage to a target player. So you just tap Stuffy Doll infinitely and kill somebody in one turn.
Hooray!
Yay for broken combos.
I was always a fan of sliver combos, where you could just take control of the field,
I
destroy the entire
fucking
field.
hate slivers. Seriously, whoever thought of the idea of, hey, let's make it so that every card in your deck gives its power to every other card in your deck.
Oh,
Your
oh,
douchebag, go to hell.
they
Wait,
made new
slivers is the one
slivers.
where you like tap a monster or tap a card, and then puts like a token out there, right?
No, you're thinking saplings. Slivers basically have it so that all slivers on the field have this effect. So basically, you put 5 different slivers out, and all 5 of them have double attack, full strike, vigilance, trample, haste. Because each of
Damn.
them have unique abilities. It's I've
Wow.
seen sliver decks that basically give slivers +10/+10, flying, and double strike, and they could basically kill you with 1 attack.
Wow, it sounds like kind of a bitch move.
Slivers are the
Broken.
biggest
You
pain
would.
in the. I mean, we want to talk about synergy. I mean, every card in a sliver deck works with other slivers, and that's all there is to it. As long as sliver is in their name, they get the bonus from every sliver on the field.
Now I hate to tell you this, but they came out with new slivers. With
Oh, they always come out with new slivers,
you know
and
how
I
the
hate
old
them.
no, remember how the old slivers gave all slivers the abilities? Well, the new ones only affect slivers under your control. So you can't build your deck
That's
off of
even
fighting someone else's
more
sliver.
broken because, like, if you knew there was a sliver deck, you brought the artifact sliver that just hey, I'm an artifact that is a sliver and it doesn't actually have a bonus, and you threw that out to
Up,
be like, okay, well now my artifact sliver gets all of your bonuses, so at least I can be a douchebag back. That new fucking combo is retarded.
now you want to hear a really sick combo, right? It's actually sitting over on my desk right now. It's a sliver deck that's built around giving you shit tons of tokens, right? I just give you assloads of tokens. And um and then I may bring out an artifact. I can't remember what it is. It makes it so only one creature can attack every turn. So you could have like a million tokens, but only one thing can attack. It's like something horn or it's a really old card.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's
But
anti-weenie deck, and I hate weenie decks too because it's just like, hey, I have
no,
a bajillion +1/+1s.
damn it. What the deck revolves around is I give you millions of tokens, right? They can be any kind of tokens I want. I bring out a creature and I turn all the tokens into slivers, and that sliver's on my field. And then I bring out plague sliver, I think it is. It's one of the slivers that make you take a damage
I
every
know which
turn
one
for
you're
every
talking
sliver you
about.
control,
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
and then you die your next turn.
Yeah, that's pretty mean to be completely honest with you. It's like a reverse level deck.
It's really funny because people don't expect it. If they see a sliver deck, they're like, "Oh shit, you're gonna have a big field," and then you have to blow like Wrath of God or Damnation, or you have to blow some kind of field clear to kill your side of the field, or else you'll die.
All right, Wizards of the Coast. I want a freaking Magic game that lets me use every freaking card you've ever created. I don't care if it's 700 gigabytes to download. Flipping, give me my fucking real Magic game. Because the one you have now is fun, but I want my deck building.
I I used to play back in the day, like way, way back in the day when it was like fourth generation, and I think Oasis just came out. So I'm talking like, um, fuck, I was in like sixth grade. So that's 10 years ago, 16 years ago. That's the last time I played Magic.
I know. I remember the old
Like
Magic
16 years
commercials.
ago, when Jurassic Park was a cool game, movie game thing.
Dude, Jurassic Park
Ninja
was a
Turtles
cool
were
game.
cool.
Playing as the fucking Velociraptor was the best part of that game.
Super Nintendo version was horrible. It was like an over-the-top view
Yes, the
thing.
Super Nintendo
The,
version
the
sucked.
first person.
Luckily, Sega
Oh, and
had
you had
their
to run
shit
around and
together.
collect the eggs or something.
Yeah, you had to
Sega
collect the raptor eggs.
kind Sega kind of had their shit together. I mean, they had some games that were like better than their Super Nintendo counterparts, but then again, they also could not compete with fucking Super Nintendo when it came to like RPGs and like every other good game.
Listen, I'm just gonna say
Because
this.
like,
I'm just gonna say this. Nintendo had the best RPGs of all time, some of the best platformers of all time. Of course, they had Metroid, which is my favorite game of all time. But Sega does what Nintendo don't.
no, no, because now Nintendo does what Sega don't. Because fucking Nintendo greenlit or paid for Bayonetta 2, and that was Sega's baby.
Listen,
Well, Sega paid
listen.
for it originally.
Sega got moved just went too far too fast. They were ahead of the time. Dreamcast was an amazing system, but the world just wasn't ready for it yet.
I loved the Dreamcast. Are you kidding me? Like, they're like, hey, you can play like MP3 CDs, and they're like, that's cool. And then it's like, hey, I found out that I can just copy your game to a CD and just play it. Pirated! It was like the first pirated system. It was ridiculous. I still have my Dreamcast. I still go back and play it every once in a while.
I remember Sonic Adventure 1 on that game was fucking baller. But the game I think I played more than any other one for the Dreamcast was the bass fishing game with the little fucking remote control for it.
See, I thought you were gonna say Phantasy Star Online. That's the one I
I
played
never
the
played
hell
Fantasy
out
Star
of.
Online, and I told you that when we played Fantasy Star Online too. Which I can't wait till fucking comes
Oh
out. That
man,
needs to come out because I want to play it.
I know, right?
The
But
only
dude, Phantasy Star Online, fuck,
the only really
so
serious
good.
game I played on the Dreamcast that was like noteworthy, and a lot of people, because a lot of people didn't, I guess, get their hands on the Dreamcast, probably won't even recognize. But it was a really good fighting game called Plasma Blade, and it was actually really fun.
I played it. It was all
Care
right.
to elaborate?
I mean, yeah. um, uh, Shui, you might remember this. Brandon's grandpa actually taught me that you could pirate those games because he had like all of them. And I was over there at his grandparents' house, and we played the hell out of Plasma Blade for a little while. But I mean, all in all, we ended up just like ditching it because like I don't know, I probably won all the time or something. Maybe I just got bored with it. But it was an alright game. I definitely played it.
Plasma Blade, I mean, it was a solid fighting game. It was one of the very first 3D fighters.
No, no,
I didn't say first, I said one of the first.
no. It wasn't even like one of the first.
How many 3D fighters were there
I
before the
mean,
Dreamcast?
before the Dreamcast, there were tons in fucking arcades. The problem is they
Like
never got
Tekken.
home release. It was one of the first home released ones. Actually, no, wait, because we're forgetting about the PlayStation, who had Tekken and freaking like Bloody Roar and fuck, somebody help me out here. They had tons.
Wasn't like
I
Tekken,
can
do you
only
remember
think
that?
of
Wasn't that the one that was like
5.
super blocky?
I can only think of 5, and yeah, they were all blocky, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about 5 games, including Plasma Blade, that were 3D. So it still falls into the category of one of the first. I can think of Soul Calibur
No, no,
Tekken,
wait, hang on.
Plasma Blade, King of Fighters,
Um,
and there's one more I can't think of.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat didn't
Primal
really go
Rage.
3. Didn't really go 3D until
Wait, did I say Primal Rage? Not Primal Rage.
Primal Rage
Killer
was not 3D. Killer Instinct, yes, that's another one.
Yeah, no, I
So
know. I meant
6 that come
Killer
to mind.
Instinct was. Oh, I know there were more. We said Tekken, King of Fighters, Marvel vs. Capcom, but that wasn't 3D.
That was
That
the
was
3D.
2D. Yeah. Fuck.
It'll be okay, man.
Yeah, but it's like you can't be like, oh wow, it was one of the first when it came out 5 years later in like the next generation. So it's definitely one of the first for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox generation because freaking Dreamcast came out like 2 years before everything else and then died.
Okay, it was still one of the first when it comes out with the first 5. Now we've got like a bajillion fighting games everywhere. Most of them are shitty. Most of them
Clay
are
Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Clay Fighter, Balls, I think it was BALLZ, and that was a 3D fighter where you actually played as like dot men. So there was that. There was
Wait,
Clay Fighter.
Clay Fighter was 2D, but it looked 3D, but you were fighting on 2D.
No, you actually moved around in a 3D
No,
fight.
I'm looking at Clay Fighter. It definitely was 2D.
Yeah, man.
Are we talking about the one for Nintendo 64?
Yes.
Hmm.
They're definitely sprite-based characters. It actually looks a lot like Golden Sun did when it came up for the Game Boy Advance. Well, it looked 3D, but it really wasn't. It was just fucking really good use of
Well,
sprites.
there's still Balls. I know there was some more for Nintendo 64. Super Smash Brothers. We forgot about that.
Oh, dude, I love that game.
Super Smash Bros. Is probably
Oh,
the best
man,
fighting
what
game of
other
all
one?
time.
There were a ton for the Nintendo 64. Mortal Kombat was one of the first. I think Mortal Kombat 4.
See, I don't really count Mortal
was
Kombat
on,
because that one was still pretty much 2D plane.
No. Mortal Kombat 4 was full 3D.
It was terrible full 3D, but it was full
It was
3D.
yeah, it was the worst full 3D you've ever seen, but it was still full 3D.
I must not have ever played that one. Probably because it was terrible.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Well, I mean, when it first came out, and you were like, oh, Mortal Kombat 4, look at those graphics.
Matter of
wow," and you
fact-
played it and you're like, "Nyeh."
The only Mortal Kombat game I played for the N64 era was Sub-Zero, and that game was amazing.
Wait, was that for
The platformer,
Nintendo 64?
right?
I thought that was for PlayStation.
It was on the 64. I had it for the 64. 'Cause I didn't really play a lot of PlayStation
The
games except
64
for
was the
Resident
best.
Evil.
Yeah, wasn't that like Shaolin Monks or something like that?
No, it was before that one. It was Mortal Kombat
Yeah, it was for
Sub-Zero.
PS2. Yeah, it was a platformer, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like you platformed around and then it goes, "Hey, fight!" and you're like, "Ugh." But you can only play as Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much it was just a story game where you can move left and right in Sub-Zero. There was some platforming in it. There was some puzzles
What's
in
on
it.
Sub-Zero then?
The game was really fucking fun. If
Nothing.
you
I
haven't
haven't
played
played Sub-Zero
fucking
anyway.
the Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero game for the N64, go find a 64 and play it. Or go fucking emulate it, because I know you can. Because that shit was fun as hell.
While we're on ridiculous games that don't sound like they'd be good, should totally check out Shaq Fu.
So, speaking of Shaq Fu,
Oh my God, Chewie, I hate you.
I really do hate you.
Speaking of Shaq Fu,
It's not.
how can you segue off of Shaq Fu? No,
I
you
can.
can't fucking
I
do it.
can. I can. I can. Still, with Shaq as the hero. Playing Infinite Crisis, and the character I want is Steel because he's like my favorite DC hero. But every time I think of Steel now, I immediately think of Shaq because it was on TV the other day, and I wanted to punch my TV screen when I saw it on there.
No,
Movie
you
was
don't.
so horrible.
That movie was so bad. He looked like an idiot because the costume they designed for him was stupid as hell. They gave him that. The mask was the worst thing ever at that. Thank God Iron Man was like made now and not back then, because I probably would have wanted to gag myself because they probably would have fucked it up too.
I love the
The
generation we
Power
lived in with
Rangers
movies.
movie?
No one's replacing him now.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the
God, the
Power
Power Rangers movie?
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
it's
dude.
like that would be
With
that
fucking
would be
Ivan
Iron Man
Ooze?
tech. Yeah, but imagine Iron Man and like their suits, like kind of an Iron Man suit that's like looks plastic like that.
It's oversized fucking helmets.
But the Power Ranger movie was
Yes.
so fucking good, though.
The Power Ranger
No, it
movie
wasn't.
was fucking awesome. The only thing, and even as a kid, I just looked at this and was like, "What the fuck is this? Why did the helmets have headlights, and why do they have different weapons?" And I'm not I'm talking about
Obviously, they needed
before
headlights.
they fucking got the new powers. They fucking the yellow bitch whatever had like a fucking taser,
Yeah.
and the
But what
pink
I
one
don't
had that
get either
fucking
is
whip.
like, yeah, yeah.
Look, obviously she was Asian and she was worried about getting raped.
No, dude, it was African American lady. They replaced Trini, Jason, and Zach at that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
black guy was the Asian guy, and the Yellow Ranger was the black chick.
Hey. That Black Ranger, fucking, oh, what's his name?
I know who you're talking about. No, I know his name. He's fucking
Johnny
amazing.
Young Bosch or
Adam.
something like that.
This dude
He's
is
the
a
guy who
god.
voice acts like everybody good.
Right.
He's the voice of Zero. He's the voice of Vash the Stampede. He's the voice of,
Oh, man,
fuck, there's
Vash.
other people. He's the voice of Guy in, fucking Tales of the Abyss. He just voices everybody so fucking good. And then you look and you go, you were the Black Ranger. I remember that.
Like,
Like, when I found that out, right? I was sitting here when, what was it? Fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, and everybody's all like, Johnny Young Bosch is the voice of the fucking, is the voice of Zero. And I was like, who is that? So I ended up looking it up, and I'm like, oh my god, that was the Black Ranger. I was like, holy shit, my childhood.
no,
Like the second Black Ranger.
I fucking agree. Not everyone is all over fucking Jason David Frank's dick because he's the fucking Green Ranger. Fuck him, dude. The guy, that fucking Black Ranger was has done way better shit since then, since fucking the Green Ranger.
Well, the Green Ranger kind of can't get away from Power Rangers. Like, he was then the White Ranger, and then I think he was the Red Ranger
Yeah.
or something.
Well, yeah, he was the White Ranger, the Red
then he was the
Ranger,
Black
to
Ranger,
back
too.
to the special Black Ranger.
Actually, here's a little fun fact. The place that I was working at when I was learning how to do motion capture, he actually came in there and did motion capture once for a game they were motion capturing.
Did he go icy ya when he jumped in the air?
I have no idea. All I saw was like a picture,
Did he yell Muffin
but
Time?
they keep
Because
like
that's what
bragging
matters.
about it. It's Morphin time.
Well, okay, here's another fun fact. The Green Ranger, he went and fought MMA, but he got all tatted up, and he's like a born-again Christian and stuff. He got a tattoo that said, Jesus didn't tap. I'm like, seriously, bro?
Listen, I am not a religious person, but that's pretty fucking epic. That's actually pretty fucking epic. It's true.
Like, not
It's
even
true.
lying. That's too
Can
fucking
anyone
weird to
be
make
like?
up.
Can anyone be like? Can anyone say shit about that? Because it's fucking true.
my my favorite Jesus joke is one where what was it? Jesus must have been lagging really hard. It took him 3 days to respawn or something like that.
Yeah, I know that
I
one.
was like, oh my god, dude.
Jesus is a shaman.
He's like
'cause he can
stepping on
walk
the
on
rock.
water.
He's like, this fucking latency, man. It took me 3 days to respawn. And I'm like, yes.
You see him rubber banding.
My favorite one is
He rubber bands to when he's back on the cross. He's like, no.
Jesus is the best shaman because he didn't forget to buy inks.
So now that we're all going to hell, what else are we going to talk about?
Let's talk about the Jews.
Well, we can jump back and talk about Infinite
actually-
Crisis a little bit. No, Val, no. Because
Not
you
yet.
always make it racist. No more, Val.
No,
I thought that
I was
was
gonna say,
me.
what about the problem in Egypt right now?
Listen, well, no.
That's
We
terrible.
we are a gaming channel. We are not gonna talk about fucking political and shit like that. I will say that the shit in Egypt is really
Don't
fucked
pay
up,
attention to the news.
and I'm really glad I'm not Egyptian right now, and I feel for anyone who's over there. And it's gotten really fucking crazy. But we're not gonna talk about that. That's not this. That's not this channel.
I was gonna say,
I
we
only
all
like.
know it's a revolution. No one's gonna admit it, but it's a revolution over there.
I don't know. I only vaguely heard about what happened, and I mean, living in a family where like we're all like in the army or have been in the army and shit like that. It's like, uh, I mean, it sucks, but it's not anything that really hasn't happened before, and I just like. It's almost like not even worth talking about because you know what? It's just gonna happen again.
Ultimazero was in the army now with Pauly Shore. No lie.
Ah, yes. I was in for a little bit. My wife is in now. She's getting out, so that's cool. I'm really happy because she never got sent overseas, but that's not what this channel is about. We're about shenanigans and gaming and being nerds. So let's talk about that shit.
So, Infinite Crisis, do you guys
Infinite
wanna?
God, we,
Crisis.
You
seg-
guys
we
wanna talk
segued from
about?
Power Rangers into depressing shit.
Okay, well let's
Fuck you,
segue
Val.
from depressing to more depressing. We played Infinite Crisis yesterday and got fucking trashed like 2 games in a row.
But I was
Well,
Batman.
it's because you're bad.
Well,
No, it
our
wasn't even
first
that.
Seeing your
game,
ball skills.
our first game is we got was a 4v5, and then Quad. It was Quad's first game ever, and he fed like balls.
In my defense, I had like 10 Dos Equis in me, so yeah.
In my defense, I was really drunk and didn't even know I was playing a video game.
The second game, I'm not completely sure what happened. The second game, we just kind of lost really bad.
The Batman and the
The
Catwoman.
Batman, no,
Like,
the
I am.
Catwoman wasn't super tail with the Batman though. Raged at Quad, came to our lane, and then just continued to die. Then, while the enemy was pushing our towers and we were trying to defend, he just wanted to sit in the jungle.
I mean, I know this is a lot of people's first MOBA, but I mean, don't just jump into it. There's a lot of really competitive people who are coming here from other MOBAs. So, I mean, you at least have to go out and look at a video on what a MOBA is. Don't just be like, DC characters, I want to fucking join! Because you get severely depressed if you do shit like that. That's what I did with Marvel Heroes. Ugh.
Well, I think the big problem
But the next game is thoroughly entertaining.
there is no tutorial at all yet. And I know it's
Yeah.
still, I mean, it's closed beta, so they've still got a lot of work to do on it. But, I mean, part of testing would be testing for new players. And to help new players, you're going to want a tutorial. League has a really good tutorial. Dota just finished their tutorial. It's really good. I don't know if Smite has a tutorial yet. Quad, when are you going to download Smite and come play Smite with me?
Sometime. But I just thought of an amazing tutorial. Like, you could totally have Batman talking to you, like Kevin Conroy just doing a voiceover talking to you. It's like, we're gonna attack this tower. Why? Because I'm Batman.
So, on that, let's talk about game 2, or game 3, when all you guys fucking did was talk about Batman and Joker the entire fucking game.
Okay, so in our defense, alright, before I just go in my defense, fuck you. In our defense, we had already properly lost that game. Bot lane, like, we couldn't do anything against the lane comp that we were against. It was a Wonder Woman and a Gaslight Batman, and the Gaslight Batman was really fucking good at being Gaslight Batman. So we couldn't even really get out of our tower to do anything. So at that point, we were just like, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna have some fun. Alright, and I was the Joker, Shuey was the Batman, and we had to lane together. And of course, we're recording a YouTube video at the same time, and it's like, well, dying all the time is boring. Why don't we try and guss it up, you know? So we're sitting here, he's like, I'm like, sorry, Batman, I'm not the fucking sidekick that you need, but I'm the sidekick that you deserve, and shit like that. And, and he'd die and be like, Batman, Batman, no! No, Batman!
So I'm not
Why are you
sure.
living in the tower, Batman?
I'm not sure if I'm going to put up that video, but I'm probably going to edit the
I am.
sections you guys talked about, where you guys talk like that, and put that up.
No, dude, I'm
Just a
totally
short
putting up that whole
montage
video.
of that.
Like, because we pretty much start with it, too, so it'll definitely keep people entertained long enough to watch until we stop that. But I don't think we ever stop that.
You know, I'm gonna use this time to complain about Gaslight Batman. If you look at that dude's guns, look at the barrel. They are shaped like the Batman logo. Bullets that shape would not work right, and that would not fire properly. So
No,
angry about that.
that's not the barrel. That's just like a flash around the edge. Like if you took like a suppressor and gussied it up, but like okay, imagine putting a bow on your gun. That's all it does.
Okay, both
It
of
doesn't
you,
act as the barrel.
I should slap both of you. Because if you think that gun is shooting bullets, then you do not deserve to talk about Batman. Because Batman
No, we know
doesn't
it's not
shoot people.
shooting bullets.
It's shooting sonic waves, and that's why it can be shaped like a bat, because it doesn't matter what shape it is.
It's like one of those
Batman.
one of those radar guns that you walk around with that's shaped like a satellite dish, and you can like hear what other people are doing, but it shoots instead.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Infinite Crisis people, here's a champion idea for you. Take the Batman from frickin' Flashpoint Paradox or whatever the hell that is, where he's just a drunk and he has actual guns. Do that. Be amazing.
I should probably watch that. I know you told me to, and I was like, yeah, sure, I will, but I haven't.
Hey, Infinite Crisis people, I have a champion idea. Stop fucking making Batmans. We got 3 of them already.
I want a whole game.
Well, the
that's
next
nothing but
champion's
Batman
another
versus
Wonder Woman.
Batman.
Well, the next champion is a Wonder Woman, and it's like, okay, but this Wonder Woman has a fucking pole arm with a chainsaw on the end of it, so I guess I can get away with that.
It's Lollipop Chainsaw Wonder Woman, dude.
No, it's like, oh my god, I don't even know what it is. She kind of looks decked out like,
Is it the
Rosie the
Gaslight
Riveter?
One Woman? It's Gaslight One Woman, ain't it?
I don't think she's Gaslight.
It sounds very Gaslight.
I can't, you know what, let me look that up real quick. You guys talk about something different, I'm gonna come back with that name.
Well, you know what I'm actually curious about is if they're gonna maybe do the Watchmen characters, because those are DC. You could theoretically throw them in here and have Dr. Manhattan just be like, "You win," because he blew up the enemy team.
Okay, real quick, it's Atomic Wonder Woman, by the way. And the thing is, do the Watchmen ever show up in the DC universe, though?
I don't think so.
No, they don't. But
I don't think
they
they
were
did.
just a one
But,
shot.
I mean-
That's why.
You can't even imagine like a one-shot, because it's like, don't forget that He-Man and, Lion-O from the Thundercats also fought Superman.
Did they?
So, yeah, they
Because
yeah,
I
they
would
did.
totally love some Lion-O in my Infinite Crisis.
Hell yeah. But you can't do that, because their thing is the infinite universes that make up the Earth and all the champions and how they are differently within there. And if the Watchmen never showed up in a DC Universe comic or anything like that, other than just being like, hey, you know, we got fucking Rorschach in our comic, then, I mean, other than
Rorschach.
that, it's not. Rorschach, that was... I was trying to...
Rorschach. He's like
Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Rorschach, that sounds like you have a fucking you have a rope from one cliff to the other and you're trying to ruckshaw across. That's what I imagine when I hear ruckshaw.
I just imagine it like a horrible case of indigestion. You're like, ugh, this Rorschach, it's killing my insides.
No, I meant Rorschach. But yeah, anyway.
Anyways,
Well, Night Owl
I
is
couldn't-
kind of a rip-off.
Can
of
we-
Batman anyways.
can we get less fucking heroes we already have, and maybe some fucking new ones? Can I get some Superman, some Jonah Hex, some Steel, some Black Canary? Come on, people.
What about
Bane.
Yes, give me Bane. Oh my god, why did I even think about that? See, I was just thinking about heroes. I didn't think about fucking villains. Can I get a Black Adam?
Wait, if we had Bane, would he be the
No,
Dark
he would
Knight
play
Rises
almost
one?
exactly like
Would he be the new Batman
Captain
Bane?
Marvel, though.
Yeah,
Oh.
he'd be like, I'll destroy you.
He just shows up and goes, "Hello, Batman." It's like, Bane, why?
Well, no, you could do
I have destroyed the enemy's tower.
lol. You could do Black Adam based off of
I'm
his Egyptian form.
Okay, so if we have that Bane, he needs to completely do all the voiceover work for, like, if somebody's attacking, like, top tower, you'd be like, the enemy's attacking your top tower, Batman. It's like, no, man, why?
Also,
I'd probably play Bane. I'd probably play Bane all the time, just
Oh
'cause
my god.
it'd probably crack everyone up.
Now you have my permission to recall.
the worst thing is if they fucking put Bane in there when the next explodes, and now that's probably when he'll say, "Now you have my permission to die."
Scarecrow would be kind of
Oh
cool
my
to put in there.
god.
I
It'd be
imagine
terrible.
Make the
Scarecrow
screen
being
blurry.
just like fucking Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, okay, so it'd be cool if they could, like, super fucking do the Scarecrow, where he's all like, scass, and you're like, hallucinating, and like, all the minions turn into something different for a little while, and you're in, like, a nightmare world. But all it does is, like, do a reskin, which, in all honesty, would be really fucking cool. But I don't see that ever happen. So yeah, I see it like he sprays you with gas and you walk around going for like a couple seconds with a little like fiddlestick's head above.
You know what I want? I want him when he uses his field toxin to make it so that all your abilities affect allies. So you damage your allies with anything that's AoE.
Oh man, that would be fucking crazy.
Also, can we get Solomon Grande? Because I think he's like the most underrated DC villain that I absolutely love.
Well, he's a zombie.
Exactly.
He's like,
And he was
like
born on a
unkillable.
Sunday.
Monday. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
Oh yeah, he was buried on Sunday. Sad times.
Yes. Sad time. There's a lot of champions that I would like to see in there.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many. Could we just not do like this fucking 5 of one fucking champion before we fucking like get
No, like
new shit?
seriously, they could bring in the whole Bat family. You could have Robin, Nightwing, fucking Douche McGee, Red Hood, um, Batgirl.
But there's a problem though, and this is the big hurdle. They're making the game based on the Infinite Crisis universe, which is where all the universes can coexist in some way or another. So it's like, okay, well if I just make Universe Prime everything, then people are just going to be like, oh, this is just a DC game. It's not like, oh, where's this Batman or this Batman? Where's this Superman? Hey, remember when this Superman did blah 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 whatever the fuck? It's like, what about him? Why isn't he in here? You should just call this Universe Prime.
Right, but
Well, what if
what
you
they
had?
could have done was been okay. Here's Gaslight Batman. Here's regular Green Lantern. Here's Universe Nightmare fucking Joker. Fucking crazy ass fucking Doomsday from another universe. And then keep making fucking heroes along with all from different universes. Then maybe once we have 20, 30 unique heroes, circle back around.
Universe Nightmare Joker. I just imagine he's just like walking around with his hair on fire all the time.
Fucking Sweet Tooth from
He's still,
Twisted Metal.
yeah, he still pretty much looks exactly like the Joker, but his hair is like green flames. Before anyone's all like, but that's not what he looks like! Don't forget that I've never, like, I mean, I know about the universes, but other than that, I've never actually seen anything. You know, I'm gonna look up fucking Nightmare Joker.
I don't know anything about the Nightmare universe other than Nightmare Batman, and I love Nightmare Batman. He's my favorite. I mean, you guys know he's the only champion I've been playing lately.
It's only because he's overpowered, isn't he?
No, I mean he's of the 3 Batmans, he's probably the weakest to be honest.
What if you had like a version of Robin that had Down syndrome? He had like one abnormally large fist, and he's just like, yay! That'd be cool. Like special ed
Oh.
Robin.
He's just constantly chasing Batman around going, Batman! Batman! Did you see what I found?
Yeah, I'm your ward.
Oh my god, I'm looking up Nightmare
can do
Joker
it.
and I'm seeing some terrible images. and I don't think any of them are actually of what I'm looking for. But I'm gonna have nightmares, so let me try and define the search a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Nightmare universe that Nightmare Batman's from.
I think they just made that up.
No, it's
No, there's an
universe
actual
It's
43
also, yeah,
or
43.
44.
It's 43. Mecha is 44. Well, okay, stop. Okay, there's a Mecha Universe 44 that's listed here on their webpage. Where's my fucking Mecha champs, man? I want a Mecha Batman right now. I changed my mind. You can make as many copies as you want if I get a Mecha Batman.
Oh, you know what I'd like is the faceless Joker that they've done recently in the comics. I don't care what he did. He could just walk around, but he looks freaking baller. He would scare people to death. It's his powers.
I was gonna say I want the Zombie
I found
Universe, but then I remember that the Zombie Universe was Marvel and not DC.
Punisher Batman.
It really doesn't matter. to be
Okay,
honest.
hang on. I'm reading, I found Joker Earth 43, right, which is the Nightmare universe. And it goes, much like his new Earth counterpart, the Joker of Earth 43 is Batman's arch enemy and would be treated for his murderous tendencies at Arkham Asylum. At one point, Gotham City was attacked by a group of vampires led by Dracula. However, the vampires were defeated by Batman, who had become part vampire in the struggle. So now we know why he fucking looks like he does.
Well, that I already knew. I just want to see what Joker would look like in this fucking Nightmare Universe. But if I can't find any actual images from it.
The Joker and his vampiric minion. I don't know, he kind of is just like holding this cross, but he looks pretty much like the regular Joker, albeit slightly more messed up.
Yeah, I'm a bit
How
disappointed.
messed up would that be if you had like a Joker priest?
Whoa, Selena's a werecat.
Haha!
I just found
Yeah.
the fucking worst image of fucking Poison Ivy Earth 43. Do not make Poison Ivy Earth 43 Infinite Crisis. Do not. Please, for the love of God.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
Do
Is
not.
it bad?
It's
You link.
bad.
Link. Is it like really bad? Like fucked up bad? Or is it like too sexy bad?
If you don't like Poppy, I don't know if you want to look at this. In my comment. But I was going to say
man face?
Poppy.
Really?
It's in my comment. You got to look at it now.
Hang on. Oh my god! Fucking man face! Fuck! No.
And that is
Sweet
what
Jesus.
paper bags are for.
Dude. Good butterface! But she's saggy, so she's like.
It's one of those things
Oh.
I'd probably hit if I was drunk enough.
You'd have to be like blind drunk
I don't
and
know.
also
I
half
don't
dead. You'd have to wake up and be like, "Oh, why are you blowing me? Surprise blowjob!"
Surprise! It's like a story.
Probably
I
wait,
had
more
that one
like
time.
it.
Never poison ivy. Why?
I just found another picture of Nightmare Batman seeking his neck into Nightmare Poison Ivy and ripping her hair out in the process.
Oh my.
At least he probably
does-
killed her.
Does she look better in that picture?
She does, actually. She actually looks a lot better than every other picture of Poison Ivy, except for the one I linked you. Okay, there's another one that's kind of bad,
Look
too.
at that picture. Look at that picture. Let me give that one a look. Oh my god, I gotta get rid of the taste of fucking old out of my mouth. Ugh, that was a terrible picture. Ugh. All right, let's take this one out. We're just taking a brief break to look up sexy images on the internet. You know, just hold still.
These aren't sexy
Yeah,
people.
she does look a lot better there.
Go and Google
But
Alt
she's
43 DC, and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah. Damn, he's really got her throat.
I know, right?
I think I see his bottom. I think I see his bottom teeth through her throat too. So he's like Damn. Ah.
Actually, she died there.
Alright. Yeah, for real. Get the fuck out of this world.
Okay, so
He's like, I'm doing the world of
Alright,
her.
alright, so
so
let's try to get back on track a little bit. Okay. One hero and one villain from any universe that's available for the for Infinite Crisis. Do you guys know what universes are available?
Wait, what?
Alright.
What enemies haven't been done?
No, do you guys know what universes are available? It's Prime, Arcane, Atomic, Gaslight, Nightmare, and Mecha. These are the 6
I
universes.
don't think those are the only ones available. I think those are just the ones that they're describing right now to give a general idea of the many universes.
Well, these are the only 6 that they're listing as their core universes. So, from these 6 universes,
Because I know there's
let's get one hero and one villain apiece. Let's start with you, Ultima. One hero, one
Because I know
villain.
there's a
in the
universe where Batman is an owl. Batman is like Owlman or some stupid such shit.
Okay, well, now that you're not talking over me, one hero, one villain from any of these 6 universes, Ultima, you go first. That you want to see in Infinite Crisis.
I don't know, I'm still liking Bane.
What universe are Bane?
But I think we
Just
might
Prime?
already have too many bruisers. Yeah, just Prime Bane. Fucking real Bane. I'm sick of all these fake Banes I've been seeing in movies. Give me fucking real Bane back.
Alright, so one hero then. After the villain.
Hero, huh? I've never really thought about it. Green Archer, because I would really like to see a new AD carry
Green Arrow.
that is
Green
built
Arrow.
up from... Yeah, what'd I say?
Archer.
Green
Did I say
Archer.
Green Archer?
Yep. What universe?
He's like, DC's
Green
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
What universe would you
Yeah.
like to imagine him
It's
from?
gonna be unimportant.
I don't know any other universe other than what he is, though.
Just-
but a Mecha Green Arrow would be kind of cool.
Just think of what sounds cool, yeah. Which one sounds cool to you? Prime, Arcane, Atomic, Gaslight, Nightmare, or Mecha? I imagine
Ooh, Atomic.
a Nightmare
Seeing
Green
Atomic
Arrow.
Wonder Woman?
I imagine a Nightmare Green Arrow being like Van Helsing.
That'd be kind of cool. He kind of looks like Vane.
Alright,
I guess it's
Shuey.
Val turn.
Well, we're gonna go Shuey because Val seems to still be thinking. One hero, one villain. Which universe are they from? Who do you want to see in Infinite Crisis?
Ooh, it's my turn. Okay. I know it's not the universe, but the Oliver Queen Green Arrow from Dark Knight Returns, where he's got one arm. I don't know why. I think that'd be kind of funny. Him using his teeth to shoot his bow over and over again.
So you can bring in any hero from
thought-
any universe, and you bring in the cripple.
Yes. I like cheering for the underdog, man.
I saw this badass picture of Green Lantern, and his fucking like right arm was torn off, and all it was like green construct from his ring. That shit was
Yeah.
cool looking.
That'd be cool. Okay, one villain. Shuey.
Villain.
Bane's already been used, so you can't use Bane.
Yeah, I know.
Bane what?
Like, Lex Luthor. But, like, I don't know which universe. Like, the one where he has the power suit, you know, where you could clearly just punch him in the face because he has that unprotected.
That's like Prime, though. He gets a power suit in like almost every universe.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
Prime.
Could you
I
wait?
think so.
Would Mecha Lex Luthor be like him in his mecha suit in a mecha suit?
Well, I would imagine actually he would be the opposite.
Mecha-suitception.
Like, what if in the Mecha universe, Lex Luthor was just some, like, fucking monk that just carried around, like, a fucking little walking stick? And he destroyed all the robots with his fists of fury.
That'd be the shit.
Like, he trained in the mountains for years. He was raised by porpoises.
Holy shit, I would love to see that version of Lex Luthor. Put that in the game. Somebody make that a thing.
That would be funny as hell. Okay, Val, one hero, one villain, which universe?
Mm, could you imagine a what was it? A nightmare dark side?
Ooh.
Wait, what's Darkseid is the one in the game already?
No, that's Doomsday.
Oh yeah, that's Doomsday.
Darkseid is the other villain of
Right,
Superman.
I know you're talking about. Never mind. I get my D's
Yeah,
confused.
He's the
looks
guy
like
who owns the
Thanos.
Hell Planet.
Can we just get Darkseid period? Because Darkseid is amazing.
It's either dark side or maybe like uh shit. Who was my other one that I really liked for evil guys? Deathstroke. Deathstroke.
That's just pretty cool. All right, one hero.
Oh, you know Deathstroke's coming.
Heroes.
Oh yeah.
I don't really care too much for heroes, to be honest. Evil guys are always badass.
All right, well, what's one hero whose attitude wants to kick over and over again? Then
Aquaman.
I knew it. I knew one of
Batman.
I knew one of you would have fucking say Aquaman. I would laugh if they put Aquaman in the game and he's be the most overpowered character in the game, just like he's in fucking that fighting game. What's it called? Injustice.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Gods Among Us.
Yeah, he's
Dude.
fucking OP in that game.
I know, like, I'm sort of hanging off of fucking Flashpoint Paradox's nutsack, but Aquaman in that is a boss.
Yeah, I think we've all kind of got past the years of the fucking Justice Friends and Aquaman's only real power being talking to fish. I imagine by now he just like controls water and like fucking drowns people by putting a water bubble around their head and just they drown. That's just what Aquaman should do.
Well,
That should be his power.
I mean,
He
he's
just
not
hits
as
them over the
bad
head with
as-
his trident, drags them by their hair to the ocean, and just like drowns them like forcefully with holding their head underwater.
Yes.
Cause fucking Aquaman is tired of being the bitch.
He just carries around a fish tank with him. He has it like on a fucking trolley behind him, like a little wagon, like a Red Riding wagon, and he just drowns people in it. He's just like aqua powers.
No, I imagine the fish tank, but instead he's got like a bunch of like different fish in there that are like ready for like all occasions, like starfish or something. And he's just like, wait, hang on, and he's just like sitting there and just uncovers it and is like, look, I'm mobile now. And he just starts going, no, 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 and a bunch of fucking starfish fly out. He's like, guys, I can help all the time now.
Batman throws batarangs, he's throwing fucking starfish.
Okay, I have a question for you though. Who is lamer, Aquaman or Angel? And not when he was a badass Archangel, just Angel when all he had was his little fairy wings and his suit looked like a fucking target.
You know what? Still Aquaman because at least Angel could fucking fly and pick people up and drop them. Flying is still a superpower
Yeah, he didn't.
that can be used all the time. Whereas talking to fish can only be used in a pet store or in the ocean.
So, Dave came
Like
down
crazy
here
cat
and heard
lady.
this. Dave came down here and heard this, and he said, "Flying Dutchman for the win."
Haha.
You know what? That's a pretty good one. Okay, so my hero is obviously Steel. I want to see. I know this is gonna sound redundant. I want to see Mecha Steel because why not? And then villain Lobo. I
He's
mean,
just human.
can we fucking have Lobo already? That should have been like the first character.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Lobo. And I don't care what universe you fucking make Lobo from, because it's fucking Lobo.
Trying
I
to
want to
remember
change my
Lobo.
villain. I want
The
Condiment Man from
badass
Batman, the
space
animated
bounty
series.
hunter guy he's not technically a villain. He's just a bounty hunter. Well, he's a mercenary.
Oh, that dude who looks like he's from a fucking death metal video and he's got like
Yes.
the hooks and rides the fucking space bike. Yes! That dude is the shit!
Yeah, he has a space motorcycle and he doesn't give two shits about anything.
I want to kind of
He gives no
see
shits about
the
anything.
the atomic Lobo because that's like post-apocalyptic shit. Because I want him with the Gatling gun on his left arm. Just
Wait,
make
doesn't he always look like that anyway?
well,
He
yeah,
always
yeah,
looks like he just
yeah.
came
He
out of the
always
fucking Mad Max
he does
film.
always look like he's post-apocalyptic. I just want the fucking Gatling gun on his left arm so that he can just be the range carry. Range carry Lobo. Do it.
Lobo's pretty fucking cool.
So, are we even gonna talk about Final Fantasy this episode? I don't think we are.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
I mean, don't
Come
forget that
on.
like Shuey hasn't really played very many Final Fantasy games.
I
I
know.
think he played like Final Fantasy Tactics and Super Mario RPG. He considers Final Fantasy, so he's obviously in the wrong spot.
Shh.
Listen, clearly,
No, I played
My
Final Fantasy
favorite
1.
Final Fantasy game is the one where Mario and Bowser and Peach take down Smithy the Sword. Or no, Smithy and his sword.
clearly, the
That
best
was
Final
Final Fantasy
Fantasy
game.
game of all time is Mario, Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Dude,
I still gotta-
fucking Peach
I
has
still
a
gotta say
frying
sick.
pan.
I still gotta say sick.
Chrono Trigger.
But
Tactics.
oh,
Not
you
the
know
remake
what?
that was on the Game Boy.
I was watching some other YouTube videos, and there's this guy called Matt Pat who does this game theorist thing, and he's talking about how Chrono is pretty much just like Jesus or something, the way they portray it. And at the end, he has this like end card tournament where he makes people vote on certain things. He goes, "What do you think is the better RPG, Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI?" And I don't comment on videos a lot, but I went down in the comments and I go, "Fuck you for making me choose."
I definitely agree.
Because we were just talking about that like 2 weeks ago, and it's like, hey, what's your favorite RPG ever? And it's like, I'm not gonna hate everybody.
Yeah, just to recap on last time, Ultima's a bitch and can't decide one favorite game, so he has three. Because he's a bitch.
I've got 3.
And they're all Super Nintendo games. Which is fine, because my favorite game is also a Super Nintendo game. But at least I have one and not three, like Ultima, who's a bitch.
Dude, okay, here's my choices: The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy VI. How do you choose which one of those is better?
Listen, clearly those are all amazing games, I will not doubt you. But you're wrong. The answer is Super Metroid.
Obviously, your
Super
favorite
Mario
game choices
Brothers
are
3.
wrong.
Tetris.
Quad, you want to hear what's your favorite game of all
Really?
time?
Super Mario Brothers 3, bro.
That's a really good one. Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of the best. I still prefer Super Mario World because Star World is awesome. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3 is fucking awesome. Matter of fact, I'm surprised none of us had Mario as a choice.
Super Mario World was fucking amazing, and it's still definitely on my list of like top 50, probably.
Of the two games I have bought for the Virtual Console on the Wii, it is Super Mario World and Super Metroid.
Dude, I almost bought Earthbound. I did. I almost bought it. I was like 30 cents short, and I was like, fuck it.
Fuck it. I know what you mean, dude.
Super
Were you
Mario
looking at Earthbound too, going like,
No, but like, I definitely know that feeling because I buy a lot of fucking digital shit, and I'm like, you know what? It's not worth putting more credits on my account for.
yeah.
Like the fact that I'm fucking one freaking point away from buying Doomsday and Infinite Crisis, but there's no way I'm putting money on my account to get it. I wonder how that would work if I put money on there to buy Doomsday, but I only need 1 point to buy them. Would I get all the points back or just that 1 point?
I don't know.
I think you get refunded the full amount that you paid for him.
That'd be pretty cool. Alright, we're gonna segue into a break here because we've been going for about an hour. I'll let you guys pick which disc 1 through 5 for the Balance and Ruins OC remix.
Okay, the correct answer is the opera song or Celeste's theme.
You know,
Whatever
I'm not going to
CD
go
it's
through every disc to figure out which
Do
one
it.
that is.
Do it. Celeste's theme from Final Fantasy VI.
Okay, well, fine.
That's it.
If I'm going to do that, then you guys have to sit and be entertaining until I find the song. Go.
I don't know. But one thing I'm going to say is, Shuey talking about Super Black Bass being like one of your favorite games for Super Nintendo. Me and Shuey are going to be doing a Let's Play pretty
No,
soon once
no,
I
no,
move
no.
back to Michigan.
We do not pimp our channels.
I'm not.
I don't care
I'm
until
not
the end.
advertising.
I don't care.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Pimp it.
If I
Pimp
get,
it.
if I get,
Shameless advertising.
if I get like 10,000 subscriptions or something, I'm gonna let him play Super Black Bass for our 10,000 subscriber video. That's it. That's just the one thing. I promised him. I'm like, alright, dude, you can play this game if we can get 10,000 subscribers.
Gotta set
Which
your
is
goals,
totally-
man.
Well,
Yeah, which is a totally doable thing.
luckily, we'll never have to worry about that because you're never going to hit 10,000 subscribers.
Dude, that game
I'm
has the
already
best
at
music ever.
18. I can't remember it. And it just loops that for like hours as you
Had to do
watch
the Benny
Chewie try
Hills
and win the tournament and can't do it.
Okay, well, I cannot find Celeste's theme in here. I don't know if there even is one. Because they might have done that one. And it might have a weird
Oh.
name that I don't know what it would be called. Remember that I have not played Final
also
Fantasy
opera.
6. Yeah, I don't see anything that says
You
opera
have
either.
to.
Okay, I have a burning two-part question for everyone. What is the first part? What is the most fun you've ever had gaming? Like what moment? And the other question is, what is the saddest moment you've ever had in a game?
Okay, everyone stop.
Okay, we're
Stop.
gonna have to wait.
Stop. I'm glad you're getting involved, Shuey, but we're about to go on break. So think about that while we're gone, and maybe we'll answer it when we get back if I feel like it. But,
Okie dokie.
alright, so we're going to go on break. You're going to get some Final Fantasy Balance and Ruin OC Remix. I'm just going to pick a song at random and go with it. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're all back. I don't think everyone's back. Is everyone back? All right, everyone looks to be back.
I think we are.
I'm back.
All right, now before we segue into answering Quad's question, I think it would be best if we say that the next few minutes might be spoilers for some games. With the exception of Ultimate's case, because I'm fairly certain I know exactly which game it was. If you haven't played it by now, I guess it just sucks to be you, because it's old as fuck. But, yeah, Quad, go ahead with your question again. We'll go from there.
Okie dokie. My question was a two-parter. The first part being, what was the most fun you've had in a moment in gaming? And the second part was, what is the saddest moment you've experienced in gaming?
Now, is it most fun or happiest moment from gaming?
Uh, you can go either or.
Okay. So who's gonna go first?
How about you? You're talking.
Ah, I'm always first. I never get a chance to just go.
I was gonna let Quad
Alright,
pick
luckily-
anyways, because he's the one who had the question. But since he picked you, go for it.
Luckily, I already know my answers. Alright, so my happiest moment in video gaming ever is the opera scene from Final Fantasy VI. That's one of the reasons I wanted Ruin to play it. Because just the whole, not like the whole scene, but most of the scene is just so fucking amazing. Like every time you hear it, you kind of like tear up a little bit, and like you get that chill down your spine kind of feel. And it's also one of those moments that like if anybody is watching you, you're kind of like, God, I hope no one's watching me. But at the same time, you tell them to go fuck themselves because this is fucking awesome, and they don't know what video games are. So that's probably my happiest moment. Because I can always go back and just watch that scene and just go. My most depressing or saddest moment in any video game. I want to say, spoiler alert, when Aerith died in Final Fantasy VII. But Square Enix has
spoiler.
found. I said spoiler alert. But Square Enix has. Shut up. The Snape kills Dumbledore. It has. Square Enix has topped that. And the most depressing, saddest scene I've ever seen in a video game was the end of Final Fantasy Crisis Core, which was the PlayStation Portable one, where at the end of the game, you're playing as Zack, right? And everybody knows that Zack dies before the start of Final Fantasy VII, right? Everybody fucking knows that, right? So you go and you're like, man, you're gonna die, this sucks. You know, and you get attached to him, but you're still kind of like, you know, you're gonna die. But then when you get to the scene, it's literally him trying to get back to Midgar, protecting Cloud, and trying to get to Aerith, and you're fighting all of these soldiers, and no matter how powerful you got in the game, you're still gonna die because that's just how it happens. And as you're fighting through this scene, your memories are slowly starting to fade away as you forget like everything that was like happening prior to this because you're taking a shit ton of damage because everybody's shooting you to death. And it's so depressing. And then when he finally does die and everything slowly fades to white, and fucking Cloud, who is in a fucking Mako coma right now, who's all like, he's just like, because of all the Mako poisoning he got, crawls up to fucking Zack, and Zack, who is just riddled with all kinds of bullets and shit, Cloud just kind of takes his sword and goes on towards Midgar, and it's just like, I fucking cried. I'm not even lying. I knew it happened, but the way they did it just made me fucking weep. Not even like man weep, not even that I weeped openly into my hands while still being quite manly. No, I fucking cried. I challenge anyone who has ever played that game or who has never played that game to go back and play that scene and tell me that you can't not cry. Because it is so sad just the way they do it. And, oh my god. I gotta go back and watch that scene again because it's so good. I just want to go cry. No, you have to like really watch. You can't just sit here and go like my parents told me the saddest movie ever was Legends of the Fall, and when I watched it with my wife, we just like laughed and made fun of the whole movie. We're like, is this the sad part? Oh my god, he's gay! No, this is the part where we're supposed to cry! And since we made fun of it the whole time, we never ended up crying. But that's my stuff. Yeah, they're both Final Fantasy games, alright, and this is why I love Square Enix so much and think they can come back. Because there haven't been a lot of games that you can really, like, feel anything from. You play God of War and you're like, ha ha ha, I'm killing everything! And while it makes you happy, you can't mark it as the happiest thing you've ever done in video games. So that's me. I'm gonna let somebody else not be a bitch right now.
Alright, I got this. First off, I want to stop you and tell you the saddest movie of all time is Click with Adam Sandler. Because that shit
Yes!
was fucking
Oh my
tragic.
god!
But we're not gonna talk about
I
that.
cried so
We're
hard!
not gonna talk about that. Best, like, happiest moment, most in a video game, or most awesome moment in a video game, definitely goes to Final Fantasy IX. Right when you're getting on the little airship to get to the fucking big city the first time, and the three witches are trying to stop you, and that one fucking blows all the fucking fake black mages off, and then Vivi goes fucking badass power trip mode, and you just fucking wreck face with Vivi, because Vivi is the greatest Final Fantasy character ever made.
Oh, that scene was badass.
Dude, the look in that guy's face as he's just
Fucking
charging up a
what was
fireball.
that, dude? Dude, fucking Black... Was it Black Waltz 3 or Black Waltz 1?
Black Watch 3, I want
I
to say.
don't remember... Oh, man.
Actually,
That
it
dude
might have
fucking
been Black
old.
Waltz 2. 'Cause I think Black Waltz 3 is the one you fight later on in this 2 or 3.
No. He was definitely the most powerful Black Waltz. But I can't remember if it went 3-2-1 or 1-2-3.
I don't remember either. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm still in the middle of replaying it ever since you gave me the emulator for it. But my saddest moment in video gaming is definitely Borderlands 2: Death of Bloodwing, because that was harsh. The way it happened was so harsh.
Oh, when they cut off his head?
They didn't cut off his head. They blew off his head. It was the most like it was there, and you were hearing the punchline. You're like, oh, silly joke. What?
Oh, and
Yeah.
then Mordecai, he just goes on a murder.
Yes, Mordecai goes fucking crazy after that.
It reminds me of... I've been watching a lot of Inuyasha lately. And Naraku likes to, like, the main protagonist really likes to fuck with people by making them do a bunch of shit like fighting their own allies and shit like that. And it kind of reminds me of that scene, but, like, not gay.
You've just ruined it for everybody by bringing in Inuyasha, the worst fucking Well, okay, I won't say the worst anime because Bleach and Naruto do exist, but a pretty bad anime.
It's a good anime, but it's like it's got its problems because of like filler episodes.
You know, if it's got its problem in that every time they're about to kill Naraku, or think they're going to kill Naraku, they don't kill Naraku. So the fucking series
I
goes,
know.
it's like what 300 episodes long or some shit like that. Guys, animes do not have to be hundreds and hundreds of episodes to be good. Full Metal Alchemist, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. These things aren't long and they're really good.
Afro
Oh my God,
Samurai.
Yeah, dude,
The
Afro
Trigun video is
Samurai is
actually pretty
fucking
long.
sick. Two of my favorite animes of all time are 6 episodes long apiece. Afro Samurai and Fully Cooley.
Fully Cooley was the shit.
I think it's Val's tone.
When you first
Yes,
watch
it is
Fully Cooley,
Val's
you're
turn.
like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Uh, Now the saddest moment can be anything, right?
Gotta be in
Yes,
video
it's a
gaming.
Video game.
I was totally gonna say at the end of Cowboy Bebop. The very last, the very
No,
last
we're
episode of
doing
Cowboy
video
Bebop.
games, man. Video games.
Video games.
Well,
Oh,
while
what
he
about-
thinks maybe
Well, I was
Shuey
gonna
should
say
go.
Metal Gear Solid 3's ending.
Did you?
Educate me, because I've never played a Metal Gear game.
Okay, so I'll let Val do it. Go on, Val.
Alright, so
Wow, thanks for the education, Val. Oh, we lost Val. It was
the more you know.
so tragic. We lost Val.
Alright.
Okay, I'll do it. Like, basically-
Okay, let's.
Like, basically, Solid Snake finds out Darth Vader is his father, and the guy with the fucking revolver Ocelot, that's his name. He has sexual relations with that other chick that was, like, on the comm stat.
Do you want me to explain it to
But
you?
wait, which one
I'll
killed
give you a real
Dumbledore?
Well, clearly that
Okay.
was Raiden.
Here was the end of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. You go through the whole game knowing that Big Boss, the person who trained you, the person who raised you your whole life, was against you the whole time, right? You were pretty much fighting her throughout the whole game, right? So you're like, okay, whatever. But at the end, you find out that the whole time she was trying to protect you, and she was trying to do this. The U.S. government actually sent her in as a double agent kind of thing, but she knew the whole time that she was going to have to die at the end of it, and it was one of those heroic sacrifice things that you don't find out until the end. The whole time you're like, fuck this bitch, next time we fight, I'm fucking killing you, kind of thing, and she's your main antagonist throughout like the whole thing. And then you get to the end and you find out that she was actually doing it the whole time to protect her world, the country, knowing that she was going to die at the end of it. And it's really depressing because at the end, it's showing everything slowly as he's staring at her grave. And she pretty much dies a villain in the eyes of the world, but only a select few people know what she really did. And he like salutes her grave, and I'm tearing up a little bit because it's actually really sad.
So basically, Code Geass, except you wanted her to die the whole time.
And she says, tell him Baron von Schu was a hero. That's her dying words. True story.
When they're rewriting history, tell them that Baron von Schu was a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because
You gotta have the
you say it,
Japanese.
but that's the thing. You don't say it as you're dying. You say it as you're being surrounded by a bunch of zombies and you're trying to save the rest of us as you're standing there with a shotgun and a shovel.
You remember very well.
Dude, I came up with it. How am I not going to remember the greatest thing ever
Okay, guys.
that we've ever come up with?
Since you guys are so good at creating this kind of shit, I think we need to create Val's favorite video game moment for Val, since he's not here. No, as a favor.
What kinds of... Oh, I know. when he burned the entire forest down that my wife so lovingly planted in Minecraft.
He was like, yes, I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
My wife spent like 3 days planting this fucking forest, watching it grow because it had originally burned down from him anyway. So she spent all this time growing the forest back and everything, and this was back before you could put fucking... Oh, he's back. This was back before you could put bone meal on it and have them grow. So he ended up burning that whole forest down, and my wife, who normally doesn't hate people, built a graveyard, and the only gravestone in there that had a name on it was one, and it said Valaquenta.
The Great Forest Fire of the server.
Yeah, dude, we're sitting here, it's like, okay, what do you think Val's favorite game moment was? And I said, when you burned down my wife's forest, who she so lovingly built for 3 days.
I'd probably go with that giant crater.
I was gonna say the nuclear bomb is probably top it.
Dude, I love that. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like a hole, but my god. That was wicked. Anyway, Val, I went through and explained what the ending of Metal Gear Solid 3 was. Better than Shui going, and then you were Shui and everybody ate your cock. So, you can go ahead and explain what your favorite game moment is now.
When you had to shoot boss, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I literally stood there in the cutscene for like 10 minutes, and then I realized I have to pull the trigger and kill her. I don't want to do it. It's like, it'd be like me killing Aerith. That's kind of how it was.
If I could kill,
Actually,
I
believe
would
it or
play
not,
Final Fantasy VII.
if anyone remembers in the beginning of that scene, Cloud was originally going to kill Aerith, but Sephiroth got there first.
Cloud's a bitch, so nobody
Well,
kills.
I read this theory, actually, that Cloud actually kills Aerith, because if you look at where Sephiroth stabs her, that's not a mortal wound. He basically could have just paralyzed her by severing her spinal column, and, like, she was alive, and then Cloud put her in the water, and she ended up sinking and drowning to death, and dying of suffocation because she was drowning. Much more horrible.
Yeah, dead bodies don't sink, they float. Living bodies sink. Yeah, I saw that shit too.
So basically, Cloud is an emo bitch and a mortal. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's emo throughout the whole movie. He's like, I'm the one who killed her. I didn't even know.
He's like, why are you sinking?
Okay,
Anyway, Val, favorite video game moment?
yeah, Val, what's your favorite video game moment? Like, legit.
Legit.
Legit, too legit to
I mean, I guess it could be the nuclear bomb
beating
moment.
beating Kefka the first time.
Kefka.
No. When I in Final Fantasy VI, when I suplexed the train, it was just, can I do this? Can I do this? My God, I can do this.
Sabin is still my favorite character. Like, in almost any Final Fantasy game, hands down. My God, he's just so OP.
Because you look, this train's chasing us, and then you're thinking, can I? And then he does it, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah! Fucking suplex the train of the dead.
Alright, I must save this discussion from all this Final Fantasy-ness.
Final Fantasy touched our hearts, Chewie. Ah!
Touched you in other places, too.
Just because you've never played a Final Fantasy game. Except for Tactic.
Alright.
Gotta remember. Doesn't Chewie play Call of Duty?
No. I haven't
No.
since, like, Black Ops 1.
No, the problem is Shui could never really get into a lot of RPGs because they were too slow for him. Don't forget, he's the one who grew up playing, like, Super Mario Bros. 3 where it's always action, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time, or just games like that where it's always action all the time. It's like, haha, good feeling. Whereas
Sit
in
right
Final
there.
Fantasy, whereas in like Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger or something like that, it's not super action all the time, but the good feelings you get are from your senses of accomplishment. That I just beat that boss and he was fucking hard, or hey, I just did this. Hey, blah blah blah, such and such. Whereas Shui's like instant gratification. I need it fucking now.
So to throw a bone to
Well, I'm gonna
Shuey,
prove you wrong right here.
I didn't play an RPG until Pokemon, and then I went back and started playing Final Fantasy.
You gotta go play sex.
You're so angry. But anyways, my favorite thing in gaming where I felt the most awesome was actually World of Warcraft when we killed the Lich King for the first time on 10 man. There was just like this awesome feeling of accomplishment.
And we did it before the other fucking
You know what? Of
before
all
the other ones
Same
could do
night,
it too.
dude.
of all the moments in World of Warcraft, that probably is the best one because it's the only one with a legit cinematic for the end. And it does feel really good to kill the Lich King.
Yeah, and
I
doing
actually
that for the
feel
first time, working together, farming him for like a month, it felt so awesome because we're like, yeah, we fucking got him, we killed him.
actually there's one better than that. When I killed heroic Lich King. Now that was a farm right
Look off,
there.
Val.
Listen, we're not talking
Fuck
about
off.
difficulty level. We're talking about. Never mind. Val, you wouldn't understand. Val is an elitist, guys, and he doesn't understand this kind of shit.
He's the guy that he spends more time playing Diablo 2 on the forums than in the actual game.
Form.
Yeah, dude, you were always fucking like selling and trading all your like items and shit, and like we weren't even in Helm mode or even close to like level 75 where I could actually use Diablo's torch. But no, I had it
Oh,
at level
come on.
30.
Just 'cause I know how to play the market.
Anyway,
It's not
Shuey,
just
what's your
that.
most depressing moment?
Oh, most depressing moment is actually a recent game. The Walking Dead from Telltale Games, not the shitty first-person shooter, but it's a point-and-click game. But that game will make you cry if you play through all 5 episodes. I guarantee you will cry like a little bitch, and I'm not gonna spoil it at all. But you should definitely go and play it.
I think I really should play this game because it did win Game of the Year in a lot of different places.
That game just makes you care about fucking non-real characters more than any other video game I've
You know
ever
what?
seen.
I might have to fight for my saddest moment too. Cause thinking about that made me think about another game when the horse falls off the cliff in Shadow of the Colossus.
I never played it, so I can't speak to it.
That horse,
Oh,
that horse is your
yeah.
only companion that entire game. Everything else in that world is trying to kill you, pretty much. And when you jump over
Except the
that
kids, though.
cliff, thinking you were gonna make it over that cliff, no problem, and you don't make it, and he bucks you off of him so that you don't go with him, that moment is epic.
That's a good moment too. Oh man, there's a lot of really good like depressing moments in video games. Like I talked about one last week during Final Fantasy VI again, when the world first ends and you're sitting on that island all alone with Sid, and you think you're the only two people left alive. And if you're not good at catching fish, he like dies slowly across the time of like 5 days. And then Celeste, so stricken with grief, like, oh my god, everybody's fucking dead. I can't go on. She climbs to the top of this cliff and throws herself off. And it's just so depressing because it plays that Celeste's theme again. Cause, oh my god,
I
dude,
actually got
I'm gonna fucking
I actually
cry.
got one from a
Fuck this
fairly new,
topic!
I got one from a fairly newer game also. Sarah from The
I'm really
Last of
crying,
Us.
by the way.
That little girl that you start off the game with when she gets shot right
Oh
at the
my
beginning of the game.
god. Wow. I actually watched that too. Like, I haven't played the game, I saw a walkthrough, and I was like,
It
oh
was fun.
man. That's
I heard that was more like an interactive movie as well.
well, it's made by Naughty Dog, and they're big on. If you haven't played the Uncharted games, I mean they're good. It's a really well done movie, but you know,
Um,
I'm gonna,
oh,
I think I'm
also,
gonna have
I
a
got a
serious
runner-up.
cry after this episode. I'm gonna queue up a bunch of
Oh.
videos I want to watch.
I'll make you even more sad in a new modern game. Halo Reach. When I don't remember his name, but the big guy, he basically throws you off the platform because he thinks he's gonna run the ship into the fucking the bad guy's ship or whatever, and he thinks he's gonna save the world, and then he doesn't.
Oh, and it gets like blown up before it reaches it or something.
Yeah, that part was pretty.
Oh,
You know what?
I got another
I gotta
one from a
stop.
modern game.
I gotta stop everybody because there's one from a more modern game that should have been the saddest moment in video gaming ever, and because the game sucked, it wasn't. The death of Deckard Cain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It just, but
They
the
fucked
way
it
they
up.
did it, it just kind of happened.
It just happened. Yeah, right. We didn't feel anything. That should have been like, oh my god, Deckard Cain is dead. We spent an entire game following this guy around, and he's gone.
Three games he was in,
Well, 2.5.
What about
and just
Joker?
like
You have quite a treasure there.
I was gonna say Joker from Batman Arkham City when he dies.
Yeah, actually, that was a really touching.
that was
scene
pretty
too.
depressing too.
Well, my
I got
topic was more
It's
of
the Joker.
a sad moment that wasn't sad because they fucked it up.
I've got one. I just was thinking about this because Shui was talking about modern games. A lot of you haven't experienced this because you're like, oh, COD, whatever. But Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare game, where they pretty much set the bar on multiplayer. Everybody kind of limboed under it after that. But there's a part where a nuke goes off in a city, and you're actually in this helicopter as it's escaping the city, and your helicopter goes down, right? And as you come to, you actually see off in the distance the giant mushroom cloud and the devastation, and you're just slowly crawling out of this fucking helicopter, just looking at all the devastation around as the fucking
Isn't that when Ghost
radiation and
dies?
everything. No. This was actually, wait, he might have been codenamed Ghost. I don't remember. It was the American soldier, and it's just everything just kind of washes over you, and you just like fade to white, and it's the most depressing thing I've ever seen in a video game. Just they set the mood very well with it, and it's just like, wow. I mean, yeah, you could list all kinds of like fantasy settings, like oh man, when Deckard Cain died, or oh man, such and such and such and such, but to actually see someone who survived the nuclear blast only to die from it just shortly after is just so depressing. But they did it so well. It still holds like it's just so well done. It's like fucking wow. I mean, I haven't played a first-person shooter where you actually like feel something. And they almost did like an RPG feeling something. Just like wow. Do we have any more? I don't think I'm done crying.
I
yet.
think we're done. I think we need a new topic that's less depressing.
Yeah.
Here's
Just
one.
start watching sad videos. It's like YouTube search sad videos.
I'm gonna go
I
get an
got
ice
one
cream
for,
sandwich. Hang on. I need something to make me feel better. Can we take a break? I'm gonna go get an ice cream
No,
sandwich.
no more
best
breaks.
moments.
We got
I
20
know.
minutes left.
I know. Oh man. I know.
It's just gonna be eating like a whole tub of Haagen-Dazs.
All right, all right.
Just like watching fucking
Yeah.
traveling jeans. Or
I got one for the best moment.
All right. Let's hear our best moment.
When you first meet Yoshi in Super Mario World, one of the best moments.
That was cheesy and lame. Val, you just made me more depressed than everything before.
When you get Yoshi? Oh, come on.
He just kind of pops out of an egg and goes, "Oh my god, I was stuck in there." It bounces up and
Yeah,
down.
he's like, hey, I'm Yoshi. Help me find my brethren. Like, you could completely skip that and still have to save his brethren. No, but here's a good one. Speaking of Yoshi, Super Mario 64, when you gather all 120 stars and go to the top of the castle and Yoshi's there, that's pretty fucking cool. He gives you 100 lives and the special triple jump that sparkles. That was a pretty cool moment in
So
gaming.
I want to point out that I never got that far on Super Mario 64, and I now feel like a loser. Thanks, Ultima. I'm out. I'm done. I'm gone. Dropping the headset.
A winner is you.
Alright, I'm back.
It took 4 episodes, but I made everyone feel like shit. Yes.
How about this for a topic? Best gaming character.
No, too easy. Best gaming sidekick.
GLaDOS?
Not
Kind of a sidekick.
really a sidekick as
Well,
much as
she
antagonist.
She was kind of a sidekick in 2, though, when she was in the potato. Kinda.
It's GLaDOS.
Mm.
One of the most funniest characters I've played in a while.
Best sidekick.
I was about to say Navi from Ocarina of Time, but then I remembered she was really fucking annoying at times. Yeah.
Hey, listen! Hey! My wife is like, guess what I'm gonna teach teach our daughter when she can do it? She's gonna teach her to go, hey, listen! And I'm like, no. I was like, do you want me to love our daughter? Best sidekick, though? I have to say
Weighted
Yoshi on this one,
companion cube?
actually.
Weighted companion cube? Come
I
on.
might have to say Yoshi.
I don't know. Val might have it here with the weighted companion cube. I mean, come on. It's the weighted companion cube.
But it's
A
Yoshi.
fact! I might have to go back to one of the saddest moments in video game history when you have to throw it into the incinerator.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Well,
how about this for a sidekick?
were you
Kazooie
that emotionally attached to it?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Because they totally played it off like a joke, though. It's like, hey,
Banjo-Kazooie.
incinerated. It has no feeling. Banjo-Kazooie. I fucking love those games.
I
those are a good one.
that and
What about-
say Diddy Kong.
I was gonna say, what about Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog?
Tails is a pretty good
Tails.
one.
Fucking douche.
You never
Tails is a pretty good one.
actually got to do anything with it, but he was always there.
But you could do something with them if you had the controller.
Well, with the second controller. Yeah.
Well, you could always switch it up and make Tails your main character too in the second one.
You also
in the
got
third one.
No, you could do the second one too.
Cortana from Halo.
Could you?
Yeah, it was really hard to do though because it was like you had to spam select or something to get it changed to just Tails. See, I'm not a big Halo fan.
Did say
so-
Cortana from Halo?
Yeah, I'm not a big Halo fan, so
Cortana.
I can't really get into that one. But I think a lot of people would probably agree with Cortana because I know she's pretty big in Halo.
Yeah, you got Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong. Is...
I think that was Diddy Kong.
I have trouble with Diddy Kong because Diddy Kong's kind of a main character too because you can always play as Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
You know who we've forgotten? Luigi.
No, fuck Luigi. Fuck Luigi. Luigi is the worst idea in video game history. I would put Superman 64 above the existence of Luigi.
You know what? People actually prefer Luigi because he actually has a personality, unlike Mario.
And he has that gimp jump where he runs in the air.
Like, people, I'm not even joking, people legit like Luigi better than Mario because he has a personality.
Listen,
Whereas Mario pretty much only saves a princess for Tales of Cake.
listen.
Cake in air parentheses.
If you don't think Mario has a personality, then obviously one, you have never watched Super Mario Bros. The movie, the greatest movie ever created. It's really hard to say this without
You
laughing.
can't, that's not even
But
canon.
you've never seen the Super Mario cartoon.
They named him Mario and Luigi Mario. Their last name was Mario?
Mario,
Yes.
Mario.
Yes, it is.
Mario. Luigi, Mario.
And Goombas were like fucking these giant guys, but they had like tiny mushrooms for
I
heads
know,
and
what was
were
up with that?
mildly retarded.
But no, I mean,
Well, incredibly retarded. There was no
listen,
mildly about it.
that was clearly a joke. I had a hard time even saying it without laughing. Let's move on. Roll from Mega Man.
Oh yeah. Wait, are we talking about like earlier Mega Man or like Mega Man Legends?
Like, all Mega Man. Roll is roll.
Well, yeah, but she had a more sidekicky kind of role in Mega Man Legends, where she actually like built your gear and stuff, as opposed to just standing in the shop going, "Hey, Mega Man." She was very sidekicky in the cartoon, where for some reason she was a Roomba, for whatever reason.
She was the best damn Roomba ever, though.
Yes. She was so girly. She's like, all my gadgets are vacuums and hair dryers.
Alright, I got one better than that then.
And
Also from Mega
lipstick.
Man, Rush.
Oh, yeah.
I
He
mean,
was always
that
there
might
for
take the cake because that's man's best friend.
you. Maybe. It did kind of feel like you didn't need him half the time, though. But then they're all like, hey, remember those Wily levels? Remember all those Rush upgrades and shit you got? You have to use them now. And you're like, aw, man, I don't even know what they do. I never used them.
No, Proto Man.
She's like, how the fuck do I jump across this cliff? He was, like, he was helpful, but every once in a while you'd have to fight him. And it was like, what?
I just thought of
He
one.
whistled and he had a fucking boss cape.
I
That's
just
all I
thought
know.
of one, but I'm not sure if he's even a sidekick. We might be his sidekick, actually. Claptrap.
Love me some Claptrap. Holy shit.
Claptrap might be the best video
Oh,
game
man.
character of all time, to be honest.
What are some other good...
I had one in my head and I just lost it. Oh! Actually, this is a really good sidekick because it's actually someone who legit helps you throughout the game. Barry from Resident Evil 1.
Oh yeah, his
Oh,
revolver.
yeah.
Barry was
You're
cool
just
as hell.
like, you walk in the first room, and you're like, oh no, a zombie, and you run back to Barry, and he kills it for you, so you don't have to waste any ammo.
Yes!
Or how when you go in to get the shotgun, normally you have to put like this broken ass shotgun on there, but if you like hang out in the room long enough and keep spamming the door, Barry comes up and goes, Jill, what are you doing in there?
Dude, Jill was easy mode, man. With Chris, it was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I just want a little montage. It's just a picture of Barry, and all it goes is, I can be your hero, baby. And that's it. Because it does seem like he was constantly rescuing Jill.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Yes.
Take this revolver.
And then you find out that Barry was actually one of the bad guys, but he changes his mind and he's one of the good guys.
Yeah.
He was a good bad guy.
And then,
Dude,
if you do it right, when you're fighting the plant boss, he'll come in with the flamethrower and finish it off for you. Hells yeah.
I never had that happen. You must have had to like really fight him for a long time. I just was like,
I don't
"Grenade
remember.
launcher!"
I just remember the one time I fought him. At some point he came in. It was just like flamethrower.
by
And
the
then
way,
I'm
now
like,
we're talking
dude,
about Resident Evil
is he gonna
1.
give me the flamethrower? But he doesn't give me the flamethrower. I was a little disappointed.
But
That
yeah, now
asshole.
we're talking about Resident Evil 1. The GameCube remake was amazing.
Yes, it was.
I never played it on the GameCube. I did play Resident Evil 2 on the N64. And you could have blue blood and green blood in that game. So I played the entire game with blue blood on, and it's really funny.
Nice. Dude,
I enjoyed
Resident Evil went
Resident Evil 2.
downhill, though. Like, what was it? Resident Evil 5? I think all it was fucking Chris yelling, Wesker! The whole damn game. Like, he does it like 20 different times.
So,
It
I'm
was
about
just-
to crucify myself.
It was just a roided out Chris shooting black people.
I am.
Resident Evil 5 was.
I'm about to crucify myself. Every Resident Evil after Resident Evil 3 has been absolutely terrible. This includes Resident Evil 4.
Have you ever really played Resident Evil 4?
Yes.
Or is it like Final Fantasy 7 where you're just like, oh, all the hype, I don't even want to
I have played Resident Evil 4, and I didn't really like it going into it, but as soon as I hit a shop, I decided that game was absolutely terrible.
But you can't buy ammo.
No! You can't be fucking mad at the fucking arms dealer. Just is like, hello there.
Yes.
What are you buying?
Yes, I can. It completely
Dude,
breaks
you don't
away
even-
from the idea of survival horror. As soon as there's anyone else
But
in that
he-
world that is there to help you at all. Everyone in Resident
But he
Evil
doesn't give you
fucks you
anything
over.
to help you survive. But he doesn't give you anything to help you survive.
That's not the point.
You can't buy ammo or health.
It's not the point. The fact that there was anyone else there who was not trying to fuck you over. Every good character in Resident Evil is actually there to fuck you over. Have you not noticed that? The only person that does it is the other character you're not currently playing.
I don't know, man. It's
You
just
can't really argue that.
he doesn't even help you.
Even
He's
Barry,
just a greedy guy who's got a bunch of guns.
if at one point he was there to kill you, like he's like, okay, well this is not a time I was just trying to get rich, and now that I don't need to do more, I'm gonna kill you. Then I'd be okay. But I'm not. Even Barry, who we just agreed is one of the best sidekicks in video games, was actually trying to fuck you over until the very end when he changed his mind.
But he's just a war profiteer. That's it. All he's doing is trying to make a quick buck while you're trying to survive. He doesn't give you ammo, he doesn't give you health, all he does is, like, sell you guns that are so outrageously priced anyway.
There's a twist ending where he turns out to be Nicolas Cage from Lord of War, where he's just selling guns.
I was gonna say Tony Stark, but I guess that works too. It turns out he was actually Iron Man.
But is your only complaint about the game the merchant?
No, Fast Zombies suck. The entire idea of what Umbrella has become has just been really bad. Basically, they should have just freaking made a new game and not thrown Resident Evil on it. What happened was is they got afraid of people not buying the game, so they threw on a familiar character with a familiar title, with familiar names, and they made the game. And it just wasn't a Resident Evil game.
No, that's not true. They had all intents and purposes to redo everything. It was strictly Resident Evil from the get-go. In fact, Devil May Cry was one of the versions of Resident Evil they were making, but they're like, this is too good to throw away, so they made Devil May Cry out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember there was initially footage of Leon and like the old school zombies, and he was like going through a plane or a house or something.
Yeah, it was like a giant plane, and it was more spectral than zombies. They were trying to bring like a fresh take to it, because don't forget that like at the time, I think Resident Evil 3 might not have sold very well because it's like, oh, it's just the same thing, you know, and Silent Hill is doing it too, and blah blah blah, and whatever. But they're like, okay, well, let's try and bring a fresh take to it, right? So they actually came up with 4 or 5 different versions of of Resident Evil 4, and most of them went on to become their own games. So Devil May Cry is just a Resident Evil 4 knockoff, if you're trying to do that, because that's what it is. It's a version of Resident Evil 4 that was too actiony, and they're like, okay, well, this is way too good to not do, but we can't give it Resident Evil 4.
So what you're
Because it has
telling me
nothing to do with
is they
Resident Evil.
figured it out that Resident Evil 4 should have not existed the way it should have and made a better fucking game out of it, and then made Resident Evil 4 anyways, which fucking sucks! Also,
But they did make a better version of it! It's called Resident Evil 4!
Resident Evil 4
Everybody who
fucking
didn't
sucks!
like Resident Evil came in and was like, what a significantly better game! I don't have this over-the-top view. I can actually, it's more survival horror when it feels like it's actually you there and not just like God looking down saying, I hope there's not a zombie over there that I can't fucking see.
I highly disagree with you.
You know what I did?
The
You know what I did in the old
limitations
Resident
of that
Evil game?
game, the limitations of that game are what made that game a better survival horror game. It's the same thing with the fog from Silent Hill. The fog in that game, which was put there to help with the frame rate, made that game a better game. When they reduced that fog with the remake or the HD version, people admitted that the game was worse because of it.
Yes, but there's a difference between limitations making something good and actually trying to make something better by like actually giving you like better controls and shit like that. Resident Evil 4 is probably one of the better games. It's one of the best games for GameCube, like hands down, and it's like one of the best Resident Evil games. My favorite Resident Evil games are Resident Evil 4 and then Resident Evil 2.
I highly disagree.
And Resident Evil 2
Feeling
held
like-
that slot for a long fucking time.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you the worst thing about Resident Evil 4, and if you don't agree with me, then I know you're just not into survival horror. Feeling like a badass in that game and not feeling like I'm fighting for my life. I never felt like I was fighting for my life in Resident Evil 4. Never. Because I was a badass. Because I had full control of my
Did you
character
beat the
and
game?
could fucking
Hold
headshot
on.
people because I could look down fucking sights practically.
Whoa, now I know that you did not play the game for very long. Because later down the line, when you
man.
shoot their head off, all it does is make them more powerful. Giant fucking centipede monster parasites jump out of their head and rape your face.
And then I shot them looking down sights too.
But they didn't have heads!
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make the game any harder when you have a bigger target to shoot.
You didn't... You must have only played for the first, like, 30 minutes, and then you were like, this game's too fucking easy because all I can do is just shoot all the zombies' heads off, okay? And you didn't even get to the point where all the zombies at night turn into big crazy fucking monsters and rape your faces, and when you try to shoot their heads off, they just get more powerful. Or the fact that you're being chased by a dude with a fucking, burlap sack over his head covered in blood chasing you with a chainsaw who literally chops your head off if he gets close to you. The game has so much fear in it. There's even a point where you go out on a boat trying to get to another area and you're like, oh, okay, cute little boat ride, and a giant fucking crocodile tries to destroy you. It's just so fucking good. And I'm not saying it's the best game ever made, but it's definitely one of the best Resident Evil games. And the fact that you didn't give it a proper playthrough, you go, this is too easy. Oh my god, there's a shop. Wow, I feel like such a badass. Lets me know that you didn't play it for very long. Because there's a part when you're stuck in a house and all the zombies are coming in and around you, and you almost fucking die like 20 times. You have to give the game a proper playthrough before you say it's the worst fucking game ever made. I do not like Grand Theft Auto games. I fucking hate them, I think they're sludge, and I think they put a bad demographic on video games. But am I going to tell people that it's the worst fucking video game ever made? No! Because people enjoy it, the controls are fine, everything's fine about that game. I personally don't like it. Will I ever let my daughter play it? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I will. Alright? But when it comes down to it, you can't say it's the worst game ever made because you personally don't like it.
I beat Resident Evil 4, so
I just
suck
fucking
my
hate
left nut. I've beat Resident Evil 4. Suck my left nut. It's a shitty fucking game. If you like Resident Evil 4, go play a fucking action game and quit fucking with my survival horror games. You're the reason fucking Dead Space 3 sucked.
No. Because Resident Evil 4 still had the survival horror in it. The problem with Dead Space is Dead Space went completely action-y. Just like Resident Evil 5 and 6 did. All the games started going action-y after that because they're like, oh, people obviously like action games because everybody's buying modern military shooters. That's why everything's going action-y now. And that's why Dead Space did what it did. They were like, oh, people obviously don't like survival horror anymore. I mean, Resident Evil isn't even doing it.
Exactly. Resident Evil isn't even doing best Resident Evil games in order are Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 1, in that order. Wait, Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. The original Resident Evil wasn't very good.
But you're like one of those people that are like, oh man, like, okay, so the greatest game as far as I know, last time I checked, was Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. Like, Super Mario Galaxy 2 was number 1, Super Mario Galaxy was number 2, and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was number 3. Okay, and a lot of people believe that Super Mario Galaxy should not be the top game because it's garbage and it doesn't have anything to do with past fucking Mario games and blah 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 blah. But how is it number 1? If it wasn't a good game and a lot of people didn't like see it as a good game. Do you see Final Fantasy VII in the top 10 list? But no, everybody still considers it one of the greatest games made of all time. And it's not even just reviews or anything that made Super Mario Galaxy have the top slot or anything like that. The game played significantly better. Alright? Going back to Resident Evil 4, everybody considers it the best Resident Evil game.
You should
All right?
probably use an example for a game I know, because
4.
right now nothing you're saying is catchy. It's just going to one ear and out the other. I've never played Super Mario Galaxy.
Wait, did you? Have you never played
I
that?
just got a
Oh, yeah,
Wii,
you did not
dude!
got like a Wii. You just got a Wii U.
Exactly!
You can actually go back. You gotta get your hands on Super Mario Galaxy. You can go to GameStop and get it for like $15 probably. But it will the Wii U will play Wii games.
And listen, I'm not saying that new games
Something
can't
you're
be
gonna do.
best games in the series. Metroid Prime is probably one of the best Metroid games out there. Even better than Super Metroid, maybe. Part of the reason why I love Super Metroid so much is the nostalgia feel. But Resident Evil 4 sucked!
Here's okay. So did you know that there's a lot of people that consider Metroid Prime series garbage because
The last three games did suck, so I understand that.
But here's the thing: Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, and whatever. They believe that they're garbage because they take away from the original Metroid Prime of side-scrolling. I mean, you're sitting here with your nostalgia glasses saying, wow, I mean, I couldn't see what was over across the room in Resident Evil 2, but I tell you what, as soon as I got into any room, I started tapping the R button so I'd bring my weapon up and see if I auto-locked onto anything. So I automatically knew there were things in there. I'm not saying the original Resident Evil aren't good games, because like I said, my favorite was 2. Also, I've never fully beaten Code Veronica, but that game was really good what I've played of it too. But to say that Resident Evil 4 is terrible is just bad. I mean, if you personally don't like it, that's fine, but don't say they ruined Resident Evil with it, because technically they ruined Resident Evil with Resident Evil 5.
There would never have been a 5 had 4 not been so bad. But people bought it anyways because it had Resident Evil on it. I fucking hate 4. To this day, I will say it's a terrible game. Never on that freaking game at all did I feel scared. And every other Resident Evil game I have. I felt scared in fucking Resident Evil Survival, and that was an even more terrible game than 4 was.
I don't know, dude. It's just... Well, just so you know, they're never going to make a Resident Evil game like Resident Evil 1, 2, or 3 anymore.
You know, it's not even the mechanics that I think are bad. The mechanics are solid, it plays well. The story sucks. The character, Leon, totally not as good as he was in Resident Evil 2. And, I don't know, I just did not enjoy anything about progressing through that game other than, yay, it's finally over.
Well, I'll tell you, dude, I mean, it's critically proven that Resident Evil 4 is a fantastic game. I mean, everybody loves it. That's why they started... Okay, well,
everyone doesn't love it because I don't love it.
The problem with Resident Evil 5 is that the one thing everybody wanted from Resident Evil 4 was like, wow, this game would be really good with co-op. So they're like, okay, well, let's add co-op. But it wasn't the co-op that made Resident Evil 5 bad. It was the way they implemented it and just overall everything else about Resident Evil. That was when they turned Resident Evil into an action movie. That's when you were just literally gunning down hundreds upon hundreds of black people. Which, I mean, I didn't mind. Lol. Just joking. But, I mean...
what a racist.
Like, still,
what
it was...
racist.
But no, I mean... Did I have fun with Resident Evil 5 playing it as a co-op game? Sure I did, but it had nothing in it that was even remotely survival horror. There were no jump scares, there was no nothing. There was one part where the dude with the freaking half-naked skinny-ass black dude with the burlap sack over his head and the chainsaw was chasing me, and that scared the shit out of me, but only because anytime you're being chased by anything, you should technically get scared. Unless you, are fucking dead on the inside.
Faced with anything with a chainsaw, you should be scared.
That's scary shit. Have you ever been chased with anything with a chainsaw? Me neither. But fuck, I would probably shit myself. And since I have asthma, I'd definitely die. I'd probably start like stroking out like halfway through, like fucking halfway to the door. I'm winded. You're gonna have to just like, from like the last 20-minute mark, you're just gonna have to like turn all of the audio down like
Oh
6
no,
decibels.
I'm
I
toning
think.
it all the way up. So, see, this is why I hate Resident Evil so much. Who was the last boss in Resident Evil 4? I can't remember. Nobody? Nobody?
I'm trying to remember.
Worst
I also haven't
Resident
played
Evil
in, like,
ever!
several
You
years.
can't even remember the fucking final boss.
Dude, I don't remember the boss of 3.
It's in the fucking title!
Uh,
Oh, Nemesis!
I,
Oh, they made a movie about him!
I haven't seen any of the movies past the first one,
I don't blame you.
but I
They all
did
suck.
like some of
Another
them.
reason Resident Evil has
I-
died is those
I
fucking
heard-
movies suck.
No, I heard some of them were really good though. I heard 2 and 3 are bad, but after that they get better.
No, 2 is good. 1 and 3 are the bad one. Are bad. And then everyone after that gets really bad because it's like clones of the main character running around.
I don't know, dude. Like, they ruined it with 5 because they turned it into an action game instead of a survival horror.
Don't get me wrong,
At
no.
least in Resident
I
Evil
still
4,
think
you were
5 is the worst one ever, but 4 was a terrible game.
6.
I haven't played 6. I didn't even give
6.
6 a chance, so I can't say 6 isn't the worst one ever. But
I gave it a chance.
after 5, I had given up.
I gave Final Fantasy. I gave Resident Evil 6 a chance. It started off promising, right? It had a lot of like original survival horror elements. You were walking around and you were fighting like regular zombies and shit like that. But you fought the last boss like 27 times. Like literally you were just like fighting him across like missions and he just kept getting progressively more powerful. When they did it in Resident Evil 2, they did it right because he only showed up like 3 times. When they did it in Resident Evil 6, they did it wrong because you were fighting him and then he'd get down and you'd be like, whew, boss down. And then you'd like walk towards the door and the boss would get back up and you'd do the boss fight again. And then the whole like last mission, and the missions went on for quite a while, was nothing but killing that boss over and over and over and over and over again. And every time he would come back bigger and stupider and with a different fucking mechanic. And it was like, just fucking die, for real.
See, that is an example of them taking original Resident Evil mechanics and then making them bad. Because if you think about it, in every Resident Evil game, the final boss, with the exception of Tyrant, transforms in the fight, but they do it in good ways. In Resident Evil 2, you went from the fucking standing form to the badass dog form that chases you around. And then you had fucking Nemesis who followed you around all fucking... Not Nemesis, Mr. M who followed you around all game. If you played Second Scenario. Second Scenario is a godsend to video games. Why can't more games do something like that?
And then, so I was like, okay, so all in all, the Leon campaign for Resident Evil 6 wasn't that bad. The problem is once you start getting into the other ones, right? You go into Chris Redfield. He's not roided out so much anymore, but now he's just become a drunk who, like, at the end of Resident Evil 5, he was like, I killed Wesker, aha, I'm a badass now, forever. But now he's like, he's leading this group of that anti-bioterrorists, like the BSAA or something like that. He's leading a group of them, so he's like their commander or something. And he just like, they all die. So literally, like, the whole point is you're playing in the past, they all die, and you're a drunk, and here's what happens. But the whole thing is like fucking like Gears of War 3. It's cover-based shooting, and there's like no horror. And it's all action and explosions and watch me fucking take my fist and punch this dude in the face and shit like that. And it's just like, for fucking real, I mean, you had it all right with the Leon. You brought me in with it. You were like, hey, survival horror again. Okay, sure, I'm fighting zombies. And it was all right, but then you're like, okay, well now we're gonna get to the real game. Haha, here's Chris Redfield, and you're gonna want to fucking shoot yourself in the foot.
I think that's another problem I have with all the Resident Evils after 3 is villains who are actually what's the word I'm looking for? Who are fucking monsters trying to kill you.
The problem is they don't start off as monsters. Something fucking happens that they're all of a sudden like injected. Like in Leon's, there's a dude. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the first 3 seconds of Resident Evil 6, the president gets infected with a virus and you shoot him in the head. That literally happens within the first 10 seconds. It's how the game opens. Anyway, so you find out that this dude who is part of the BSAA was, well, he's not part of the BSAA. He's part of the fucking United States, whatever. But he's the bad guy the whole time. And the whole time he's just sitting there like, ha 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 ha, I'm like the head of this company or super important, so you can't do anything to me. And I'm going to tell everybody that you guys are criminals. But then, like, you're sitting here fighting him, and then Ada's all like, ha, I injected you. And then the whole rest of the game you're fighting him as a monster. And it's like, you were more threatening when the whole world thought I was the enemy for killing the president because you were sitting in such a high seat of power. Now it's just like, you're just like this monster that I just need to kill you, and I don't care because you won't fucking die.
I like being chased by monsters throughout the entire game. That's what made the first 3 games really good. The problem is that they give you these fucking characters who are like, ha ha ha, I'm going to use this to take over the world. Dude, you just fucking destroyed an entire village. You really think anyone wants to use that shit to take over the world? That shit's killing people. There's not going to be a world to take over if you turn them all into fucking zombies and lickers.
Only the strong will survive.
For like a week and then they're going to die too.
Yeah.
Like, the entire premise of Resident Evil after 3 doesn't even make sense. Why would Umbrella even... like, there's no money to be made after Raccoon City goes down. Obviously, this is an unstable product that nobody would want to use. Ever.
No.
Someone would.
That's not true.
You know, there's idiots out there.
There is a such thing as bioterrorism. Do you remember when everybody was sending out packets of anthrax?
Listen,
after 9/11
sending
and
out
killing people?
anthrax that will kill people across the sea and will never get back to you because they're not going to be turned into zombies that could actually fucking get to you eventually if an outbreak breaks out is a lot different than a fucking zombie virus that a single scratch and someone gets away thinking they're okay and then becomes a zombie and it spreads and it spreads and spreads and eventually a global phenomenon. Big difference.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like, hey, what's the best way to fuck with the Americans? Haha, because they're French. We'll just send a bunch of zombies on them. Haha.
But I'm tired.
Listen,
But
anyone
doesn't
who
look
does
tired.
not look at it like every zombie apocalypse movie ends with the entire world being fucked over, why would I even want to create one zombie? You're fucking retarded.
But there's some people who don't want to take over the world for taking over the world. There are some people, I hate to bring up a Batman quote, but there are some people who just want to watch the world burn.
Okay, so
There are people who do
Okay.
chaos.
Fucking Michael
I
Caine.
understand that there are people who just want to see the world crumble. Fucking Umbrella is a corporation who is all about making money. That's the entire premise of them in every fucking game. Why would they want to give it to somebody who would do that to the world? Resident Evil after Resident Evil 3 when Raccoon City explodes does not make sense.
I didn't say the story was sound, but it still plays as a.
That's what I'm arguing about the entire time! That's the entire premises of my entire argument. Were you not listening to anything I said?
Look, okay, so the story is stupid. Have you ever not played a game because the story was stupid? There are tons of good games who have stupid stories.
Yes, I have.
Have you played any of the newer Mario games?
No, the
Like,
last one I gave a chance.
They have the most retarded story.
The last one I gave a chance to was the one for the 3DS. And yeah, it had retarded. It was bad anyways, but yeah, I don't play games unless they have a good story, unless they're PvP games. I mean, that's all there is to it. One of the reasons why I
mean,
quit playing World of
there's
Warcraft.
a lot
and-
of games that don't have good stories. In fact, don't forget that back in the day, the story was in the instruction manual. There was no story. It was whatever the writer of the instruction
Right,
manual
and
thought he had
even
in there,
those
story.
stories are better than Resident Evil 4's story.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot that you're a lore nut.
I admittedly am probably the biggest lore nut of this group.
I mean, I hate to tell you this, but if you like Super Metroid and all that stuff, you might want to play Metroid Other M. But I think the fact that the story, which is so terrible, I think it's turning you off from it. But all in all, as a game itself, it plays really well. But the problem is the story. The story is fucking terrible. But as far as the game goes, it functions incredibly well.
Well,
I actually had a lot of fun playing it.
The reason why I haven't played Metroid Other M is because I just now have a Wii and I just haven't had money to buy any games for my Wii that I have now.
I wonder how much it would cost to get Metroid Other M.
I haven't bought another game since I bought the 3 games I bought when I got my Wii.
No, yeah. Anyway.
Alright guys, I think we're going to call this now. We've been going for a little over 2 hours now, which is, this is going to be our longest podcast yet. And I think Shuey said he was getting tired anyways.
I think we were arguing for...
We were arguing for like 30 minutes. I don't think Quad or Valve had anything to say or why.
There was like so much nerd rage.
Here's a rundown, okay? The first hour we were talking about video games and what we thought was cool, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then there was the break. Then after the break, it was nothing but us crying like bitches and screaming at each other.
The most emotional
that sums it up,
podcast
right?
yet. The most emotional podcast yet. Alright, Ultima Pimp your channel out.
Go to, if you're in YouTube, search for Dan, D-A-N, E-D-I-N-G-T-O-N-I-I. That's my name, Dan Eddington, the second. And go watch my videos. Apparently they're getting pretty popular. Some people say they're some of the better. People are just wondering why I don't have more subs. And to be honest, it's because I don't advertise very much. So, I mean, go watch it. We play some Minecraft. We've been playing some Infinite Crisis lately. And stuff like that. Later down the line, I plan on playing some other games. I want to play some Castlevania Lord of Shadow when it comes out on PC and let people know how it runs. And various games like that. So, you know, give it a watch. It's pretty fun. You can also search for a Frenemies build or Frenemies play. And I'm slowly making my way up the list.
Yeah, anyways,
The totem pole.
his link will be in the comments and there will be an annotation over his portrait. I really just wanted him to talk about his channel and not try to link you to it. But anyways, you guys, if you're watching this, then you already know what the RPG podcast is. Check it out. I've got videos on Infinite Crisis now, here with Ultima and Shuey and soon to be Val. I've got all my Hoofsto's Hopeless. See, first time I've gotten it wrong while recording. Fuck. Okay, all of my Hoofsto's Hopelesses, making the game, and the very first episode, Node Rant, went up last week since we didn't do a podcast. I threw that up instead. And eventually we're going to play some more keyboard. I'm going to get that thrown up because I completely lost my keyboard footage because I'm an idiot. But thanks for watching, guys, and see y'all next time.
Baby.